Ladies, he doesn't look at other women because they're prettier. He looks at them because they do something you haven't done in a long time. And once you start doing it again, he'll forget the others. Let's get one thing straight. If your man is looking at other women, it's not because they're more attractive than you. It's not because you've let yourself go. And it's definitely not because he doesn't love you anymore. No. It's because those women, often without even realizing it, are doing something you might have stopped doing a while ago. And it has nothing to do with sex, looks, or flirting. It's something much deeper, something his brain is quietly craving, even if he doesn't realize it himself. And so what is it? Respect. Hold on. I know what you're thinking, but I do respect my man. And I believe you, but I'm not talking about general politeness or everyday kindness. I'm talking about a very specific kind of emotional fuel, the kind that touches the core of who he is as a man. Let me explain. Men need to feel like winners. Every man, no matter how old, confident, or loyal, has a deep biological need to feel like the champion in his relationship. Not because he's insecure, not because he wants to dominate you, but because to him, love is a mission. He wants to feel chosen, he wants to feel trusted, and above all, he wants to feel like your hero, not your project. And this is where many relationships begin to fail. If a man constantly feels criticized, corrected, or compared, he starts to feel like he's failing. And when a man feels like a failure, even if you still love him, he begins to emotionally withdraw. And he doesn't even know why. All he feels is that something's missing. Something feels off. And before he knows it, he's smiling too much when the coworker laughs at his jokes, or when she asks him for help, even with something small, or when she looks at him like he's got it all together. That's it. That emotional need is being met. Not sexually, emotionally. The truth is, men don't just crave sex. They crave meaning. Yes, sex matters. But if sex alone was enough to keep a man loyal, there wouldn't be amazing, beautiful women who still get cheated on. What men truly seek is the feeling that they matter to you in a way no one else ever could. They want to feel like you're number one, not because he makes money, not because he's nice, but because you see him as your leader, your protector, your man. Because you believe in him. That's the emotional treasure he's starving for. Here's the good news. Once you understand this, you don't need to play games. You don't need to outshine other women. You don't need to pretend. You only need to flip a switch. Help him feel like a man again. Small things are enough. Ask for his opinion in areas where you'd normally decide alone. Thank him for little things you might usually take for granted. Tell him, I trust your judgment. And mean it. Let him lead sometimes, even if you could do it faster. Look at him when he talks like what he says truly matters. For you, they may seem like small gestures, but to him, they mean everything. Because they answer the one question every man quietly asks himself. Am I enough for her? And here's the turning point. When a man feels respected, he becomes almost addicted to you. Why? Because in a world that constantly tells men they're not good enough, you become his safe place. The one woman who truly sees him. Not just for what he does, but for who he is. And once he feels that emotional reward from you, other women lose their appeal. Why? Because they could never give him what you give him. Not even close. He stops seeking attention because he's already found what he was really longing for, a woman who believes in him. Let's be honest, a man doesn't need perfection. He doesn't care if you have stretch marks. He's not comparing you to Instagram models. He's not judging your outfits. What sticks in his mind? What makes him come home earlier, hold you tighter, and forget every other woman? It's the feeling you give him of being a man, confident, capable, desired. And when you give him that, he won't just stay loyal, he'll be obsessed with you. Here's the bottom line. If you want your man to stop looking elsewhere, emotionally or physically, Don't just try to be sexy or kind. Instead, fulfill his deepest need, the one he doesn't even know he has. Make him feel respected, admired, and trusted, not like a child who needs correcting, not like a paycheck with legs, not like another task on your to-do list. Make him feel like the man you choose every single day. And when he feels that, every other woman becomes invisible, because no one else can give him what you give. Let's be brutally honest. Most men don't cheat because they're bad or sex-obsessed or planned it. They cheat because someone else stirred something in them before you did. Something powerful, emotionally intoxicating, something even good men can barely resist. And that something isn't sex. It's not beauty. It's not even attention. It's a very specific emotional experience that men, without realizing it, have been chasing their whole lives. And here's the scary part. The women who trigger this feeling in men often don't even try. But if you learn how to intentionally use this principle in your own relationship, you'll become that woman. The one he constantly thinks about, the one he speaks about with admiration, the one he clings to, the one he never wants to lose. So, what's the secret? It's called emotional elevation. What is emotional elevation? It's the feeling a man gets when being near a woman makes him feel like the best version of himself. Think about it. Have you ever been with someone who made you feel unstoppable, who made you believe your ideas were brilliant, that your presence mattered, that you could do anything? That's emotional elevation. And when a man feels that from a woman, his brain lights up like a jackpot machine. He may not be able to explain it logically, but emotionally he becomes addicted because it feeds his ego, his masculinity, and his self-worth all at once. And believe me, no man ever wants to lose the source of that feeling. Why does this matter so much? Because many women try to keep a man through affection, sex, daily support, and reliability. And while those things are valuable, they aren't what make him emotionally attached. What really works, when you become the woman who makes him think, with her I feel like a king. The moment he associates that feeling with you, it's game over. No Instagram model can compete. No coworker will distract him. No new flirtation will stand a chance, because his heart is no longer chasing novelty. It's chasing meaning. How do you create emotional elevation? The best part, you don't need to fake anything. You don't need to stroke his ego or pretend. You just need to become more intentional about how you respond to him. Here are 4 incredibly powerful ways to do that. 1. Celebrate his small wins. Most men don't brag, especially not to their partner. But if he casually mentions solving a problem, fixing something, or helping someone out, pause. Acknowledge it. Say something like, "That's really impressive. I love the way you handle things. That's honestly so attractive." You're not praising him like a child. You're offering real admiration. And that hits deep. 2. Ask for his opinion, and follow through on it. Whether it's a big or small decision, ask him, "What would you do?" Not out of politeness, but genuine respect. And if his advice works, tell him later, "I did what you suggested, and it totally worked." Boom, you just reinforced his self-image as capable, smart, and trustworthy. That's emotional elevation. 3. Use "you make me feel" statements. Men often don't know when they're getting it right, but when you say, "You make me feel safe," or "I feel so loved when you do that," his brain stores that as, "Well, do more of this." So you're not only showing him how to win with you, you're making him feel amazing in the process. 4. Let him protect you, even if you could do it yourself. Yes, you're independent. Yes, you can handle it. But when you let him help, even with the small stuff, you awaken something primal in him. Men are wired to protect and provide. Letting him do that doesn't make you weak. It confirms his identity as a man, not in a submissive way, but in partnership. You're not helpless, you're smart. Now, here's the danger. Emotional neutrality. Want to know the fastest way to be forgotten in a man's heart? Make him feel nothing. No praise, no admiration, not even friction. Just neutral. Like his presence doesn't stir anything in you. That's when he starts looking elsewhere emotionally. Not because he's a bad person, but because he feels empty. your ace up the sleeve? Become his source of emotional high. Imagine this, you're the woman who makes him feel unstoppable, who inspires him to rise, who reminds him of who he is, who sees him without judgment. This isn't a tactic. This is emotional alchemy. This is emotional elevation. And that's what the other woman sometimes triggers by accident. But you can do it intentionally, powerfully, and consistently. And once you do, he'll stop chasing any other highs. Because you are the ultimate one. You don't need to change. You don't need to be less. You just need to learn how to use your presence like a mirror, one that reflects back to him the best version of himself. Because when a man sees himself through your eyes and loves what he sees, he'll never want to lose that image. And that's what makes you irresistible. Let's bust a myth. Men don't stay with the most beautiful woman in the room. They stay with the woman who gives them a feeling no one else can. And that woman, she's not always a perfect 10, not the best dressed, not the one with the most followers, the perfect body, or the latest makeup. She's simply mastered something the others haven't. The art of emotional anchoring. What is emotional anchoring? It's the subtle yet powerful bond that links you to his strongest, happiest, most meaningful emotions. Every time he feels proud, calm, inspired, or desired, you're the woman he thinks of. This isn't manipulation, it's not a game, it's just what happens when you understand how emotional connection truly works. Physical attraction gets his attention, but emotional anchoring, that's what holds him close. That's what makes him not even consider risking losing you. Because deep down, you're the place where he feels most like himself. Always remember, a man might meet a beautiful woman, an exciting woman, but if she doesn't make him feel like himself, like his best self, he won't stay. Because men don't stay loyal to appearances, they stay loyal to the feeling of safety, identity, inner peace, and real connection. So here's the big question. How do you become his anchor? Step 1. Be his peace, not his pressure. Most men today live in survival mode, pressure, expectations, performance, responsibility, and somehow they're also supposed to be vulnerable, strong, non-toxic, and emotionally available. It's too much. So if he comes to you and you hit him with criticism, drama, or a "we need to talk" vibe, you become another weight. But if you become his pause from all the noise, even just for a few minutes, he'll crave you more than anything. A simple moment like, "You've had a long day, come sit down, breathe," stays with him. You become relief. And people don't cheat on relief, they protect it. Step 2, activate his memory triggers. The women men never forget aren't perfect. They're tied to moments. Real, emotional, light, meaningful memories. A late-night drive with loud music, a silly dance in the kitchen, an inside joke only the two of you understand. He won't post about these moments, but they'll be etched into his heart. Don't just be sexy, be unforgettable. Step 3, stop competing, build team energy. Too many relationships become silent competitions. Who gives more? Who loves more? Who needs less? But strong couples don't fight each other. They fight side by side. They say, us versus the problem, not me versus you. When a man feels you're on his side, he trusts you deeper. You become more than a partner. You become a teammate. And teammates don't betray each other. They stick together. Step 4, use the power of unexpected praise. Men crave appreciation, even if they never say it. When you compliment small things he didn't even notice himself, it hits differently. Say things like, "I love the calm you bring," or "I saw how you handled that," or "that was strong." You're not just affirming his looks, you're affirming his identity. And that sticks with him. Why this works, I mean, even if you're not the most beautiful woman, most men aren't looking for a perfect woman. They're looking for one with whom they don't have to be perfect. A woman who laughs with them, grows with them, challenges them without making them feel small. The kind of woman who makes them feel like they can be fully themselves. That feeling is emotionally safe, and it's addictive. The takeaway? You don't need to be more beautiful. You don't need to beg, pretend, or compete. You only need to make him feel 4 things: peace, pride, joy, and purpose. If he feels that with you, he'll never want to start over, because walking away from you means losing not just the relationship, but the best version of himself. How to read his answer. The 4 types of men. Here are the most common responses and what they really mean. Type 1, the avoider. No idea. Depends on the relationship. Or, why are you even asking me that? Red flag. This isn't about being deep or poetic. It's about whether he's ever thought about what it means to be a man in a relationship. If he avoids the question or turns it into a joke, it's usually because he's never had to take emotional responsibility. He's never been challenged to meet a higher standard. He doesn't think long-term. He might be nice. He might be fun. But loyalty, that becomes unpredictable because he has no inner compass guiding him. Type 2, the performer. Make her happy, make her smile, treat her like a queen. Sounds sweet. And yes, it's better than nothing, but it stays at surface level because happiness isn't a goal, it's a result. This kind of answer shows he's more focused on pleasing or earning points than truly understanding what partnership means. These men often mean well, but when things get tough, when you're not smiling, when life is messy, they pull back because they never built emotional endurance. They perform for the crowd, not for you. Type 3, the grounded man. Protect her, lead with integrity, be someone she can trust, or give her emotional and physical safety. This man gets it. For him, loyalty isn't a contract that lasts until things get boring. It's part of who he is. He knows it's not about perfection. It's about protection, not just from outside threats, but from internal doubts, insecurities, that quiet voice that says, I'm not enough. He sees your heart as something he's responsible for. That's real loyalty. That's long-term. That's husband energy. Type 4, the self-aware builder. Grow with her. Be honest, even when it's hard. Become the kind of man she can rely on. Now we're going deep. This answer goes beyond protection. It points toward transformation. This man sees love as a journey, as shared growth. He knows that loyalty isn't a passive state. It's a daily choice, a commitment to show up, even tired, even when it's inconvenient. These men are rare, but when you find one, you never have to fear him drifting, because his loyalty is rooted in values. And what to do with his answer? Don't explain it. Don't debate it. Don't try to fix him. Just observe. And you're not looking for the perfect answer. You're looking for intention. Does he pause? Does he reflect? Or does he go straight to a cliche? If he's unsure, that's okay. But pay attention to the values behind his words. Is he here for you? Or just because being with you makes him feel good? That's the difference between true connection and mere convenience. Why all of this matters? Loyalty isn't about control. It's about choosing someone who sees faithfulness as part of who they are. Many women miss the early warning signs because they focus on how often he texts, how sweet he talks, or how friendly he acts. But what truly keeps a man loyal isn't behavior. It's purpose. And this one question reveals his. If you really want to know how seriously a man takes relationships, ask him, if you had a son, what would you teach him about love and commitment? That question doesn't just reveal how he behaves, right? It shows you his worldview. And his answer, it's the blueprint for how he sees your future together. Your power move. You're not dating for attention. You're not just hoping he won't cheat. You're checking if your values align. Because loyalty isn't luck. It's not coincidence. It's not wishful thinking. It's the result of choosing a man whose inner compass is already set toward commitment. And once you see that, you no longer need constant reassurance because now you're walking beside a man who gets it. And now, listen closely, because what I'm about to share is almost unfair. It's quiet, invisible, and so powerful, it works without a single word. I tested this trick for 7 days. No begging, no performing, no emotional speeches, and on the 3rd day, his phone was face down, on silent, locked, and his eyes were only on me. The wild part? I didn't change anything on the outside. I didn't buy anything new. I didn't even talk more. I simply used presence power. What is presence power? It's when a woman enters a room and shifts the energy without saying a word, without trying, often without realizing it. It's confidence in her silence. And when a man feels that, his nervous system reacts, not with fear, but with fascination. He doesn't just look at you, he feels you, and he can't explain it. But something in your energy pulls him in like a magnet. It's not a game, not flirting, not a performance. It's the awareness of your own energy and how you let it speak without a word. Why it works. Yes, men are visual. But even more than that, they're emotionally tuned to energy. You know that woman who isn't the prettiest in the room, but has something, that unnameable attraction. That's presence. And when you learn to live that consciously, you stop chasing attention because it starts coming to you. You become the calm in the chaos, the mystery in the noise, the one thing he doesn't fully understand but can't look away from. The silent trick, the 7-day presence reset. I'll show you step by step what I did for 7 days to spark silent obsession, whether in dating or an existing relationship. No games, no magic, just emotional control. And it all begins with one decision. Stop proving, start being. Day 1. Eye contact without words. Look him in the eyes, 3 seconds. Calm, soft, silent. No smile, no comment, no explanation. Let your gaze say, I see you. You shift from reacting to simply being. Day 2. Silent closeness. Spend time near him without talking. Sit next to him. Do your thing. No noise, no need to fill the space. Silence becomes your tool. He'll start wondering what's going on inside you. Day 3. Mirror, then pause. Match his energy briefly, pace, tone, body language, then slow down. If he's fast-paced, match it for a moment, then slow. If he's physical, mirror it briefly, then pull back. This creates a gap he feels immediately, and that gap draws him in. Day 4. No reaction. He teases you or says something that would usually make you laugh. Not today. Offer a soft smile or a neutral look. Stay centered. He'll go crazy. He's used to women giving instant energy. Your restraint becomes his fascination. Day 5. A single touch. Brush past his arm, adjust his collar, touch his shoulder once, briefly, then walk away. You're not asking for anything, but you've planted an impulse in his mind that will replay for hours. Day 6. Move as if you're being watched, without needing the attention. Walk, sit, move with intention, slowly, clearly, feminine, not for him, for you. Show through your posture that you own your space. He feels that. Even in silence. Presence speaks without words. Day 7. Say nothing when he expects a reaction. He says something that would normally throw you off. Say nothing. Just look at him. Tilt your head slightly. Smile calmly. And walk away. You control your energy, not him. And that is what makes you the woman he desperately wants to understand. Why this works? It's not a game. It's energetic leadership. Most women talk too much, explain too much, react too fast. But when you stay quiet, when you're fully present, when you hold back your energy, he starts looking for you. Not because you're loud, but because you're deep. Your advantage. The strongest women aren't the loudest. They're the ones who rest in themselves, quiet, soft, and powerful. In a world that constantly shouts, silence becomes power. And without saying a word, you've just done what few understand. You've shown what men truly want. You've sparked emotional addiction. You've proved that real loyalty comes from identity, not fear. You've revealed your truth. And you've made him obsessed without chasing him, Now the power is yours. Use it with clarity, self-respect, and heart, not to trap him, but so he realizes losing you would mean losing himself.